StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of Mid-Rank Madness. This is a gold level game sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Mid-Rank Madness. I sent this along with a whole bunch of others to my screeners. This is the very best one from that pack. And thank you very much to my screeners, including Dawn. Alright, in the top right side of Proxima Station, the latter edition, we have the red Zerg player. It is Analis. Analis, something like that. And the bottom left side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Gasdark. Alright, so Gasdark versus Analis here. Gold level ZVP double extractor trick out of Analis. What? What is that trickery here? So he was up temporarily above the supply cap, allowing him to get 17 workers very quickly here. And probably going for a hatch first against his Protoss opponent. There's really no reason not to do that against Protoss these days unless you're getting cannoned, but that's what Overlords are for. And that's what scouting is for. But I mean, if you hatch first against Protoss and you don't scout, you pretty much get whatever comes to you at that point. You deserve it. You just do. You have to scout this stuff because Protoss players are sneaky. They are tricky, and they will come. They will cannon you. They will proxy you. They will do anything they can to disrupt this hatch first play. And actually, holy smokes, is he going? He's going double hatch. 3 hatch before pool out of Analis. Oh, we have a brave Zerg player here. He has enough. There we go. You can stop patrolling. There it is. There's the hatch. There it is. The hatch. Yeah, it's a 3 hatch before pool here from Analis. Regular standard 1 gateway expand from Gasdark. Actually, gateway into Cybercore. So a 1 base opening versus a 3 hatch opening. Ooh. I don't feel good about this. If I'm the Zerg player, he's finally getting... Okay, so extractor and pool at exactly the same time at about 17 supply for each. That was interesting. Never seen those coming up at exactly the same time before, but nobody's scouting. There's an Overlord kind of moving lazily across the map. It is a slow Overlord. It will take forever to get there. And Gasdark just has no interest in sending any probes out at all. So he's got double gas. He's got a Cybercore. I mean, this could just be a straight-up DT rush, which I think would be fine. But nope, it's going to be a Stargate. So it could be an Oracle. We do have Oracle names ready to go on our list. If you're interested in submitting a name for the Oracle list, just do it in the comments of this video. Put Oracle name, colon, and then your Oracle name with a backstory if you feel like it. If you don't worry about it. Like, I can make up my own backstories or not as necessary. Spawning pool just now completing. So now, at this point, you really want to scout if there's an Oracle coming. Okay. Here's the compromise. If you don't feel like scouting... Don't feel like drone scouting because it wastes money or whatever. At least chuck down a spore crawler in each of your mineral lines here as the Zerg player against Protoss. It helps you against everything. Flying units, it's really good against. Cloaked units, it's really good against. Anything that can kill you really bad in the first about 5 minutes, a spore crawler will help immensely with. Again, if you don't know what's coming. So it is an Oracle, and it's being Chrono Boost. This Oracle's name is Lady Morella from Babylon 5. Majel Barrett, Gene Roddenberry's wife, creator of Star Trek, was going to be playing a precognitive Centauri character on Babylon 5 when the recording studio got her lines mixed up. Majel, being a professional, rolled with it. I guess she's now an Oracle because they had a mix-up at the studio. I'm not entirely sure how that works. But yeah, Majel Barrett did the voice for the computer in Star Trek The Next Generation and really did a great job at it. It's an iconic voice. If you've ever watched an episode of Star Trek before, you've probably heard it. And it's good. It's professional. It's clear. It sounds fairly robotic, but also moderately human as well. Anyway, 3 spore crawlers are coming up for Analis. Analis. I'm going to say it's Analis. It's easier and funner to say here. Queen stabbing away. Oracle says, I will kill you. You're not spore crawlered yet. Chasing them drones. 2 change into spore crawlers. Excellent job saving themselves there. Oh, man. And a Lady Morella flying into the natural base, trying to do the same thing, but guess what? Queen here as well, and boosh. Man, being an Oracle in the hands of a MidRank Madness player, maybe not where you want to be. Ling's also trying to knock down the front door of Gasdark. Just, it's not going to happen. Lings, you just can't break this. It's impossible. It is impossible. Warp Gate research on the way. A Void Ray came out as well, so the Void Ray needs to start hunting Overlords. There's one slowly moving into the main base right now, just trying to see what it can see. Hey, look. A Stargate, already knew that one. Third Nexus complete, second Nexus rather, complete for Gasdark back in the safe expansion here. And yeah, I mean, so far I'd say the Zerg player has got a bit of a lead here. Got those 3 bases up early, is up 40 to 28 total harvesters. The early Oracle didn't do anything. It's a nice scout with the slow Overlords, recognizes there's a Void Ray out, but I mean, whatever. Queens and Spore Crawlers can handle a Void Ray just as well as they can handle an Oracle or 2. I wouldn't worry about it if I was Analis. Getting a lair, so teching up real fast, whatever he's doing, at about 4.5 minutes here. Well, closer to 5 minutes. And what do we got? Gasdark, are you actually 2 Void Rays coming out? Is he making another one? He's going Mass Void Ray. Oh, very well could be going Mass Void Ray here today. So let's see what we get out of Gasdark here. And queens, 2 queens. Well, actually, this queen's laying a creep tumor. You could help, you know, says the other queen. And oh man, run to the safety of the Spore Crawler. Run to the safety of the other queens. 1 queen died, but 3 queens versus 2. And with Spore Crawler support, there it is, well positioned by Analis. Gonna lose a queen, trying to run away, and ends up getting killed. But the Void Ray should get destroyed in retribution. Oh, it's too fast. Oh, it's too fast. 7 hit points, 7 hit points, 7 hit points, and manages to escape with 1 kill to his name. That was an interesting battle there. Another Stargate coming in, so maybe Gasdark's just straight up sky tossing this thing. Seems possible. I'm not gonna say no. Double extractor here at the natural base. And actually taking the double extractor at the 3rd base as well here is Analis. So, all right, we're going to have a lot of gas with the Zerg player off of 3 bases here very, very shortly. Done a great job just rebuffing everything that Gasdark has tried to do to kill him so far. But it's more Void Rays. Gasdark is not giving up, man. Do not do this strategy in GM if you ever make it there, but in MidRank Madness and Into the Void, it can work pretty well, Mass Void Ray. However, a lot of Hydras, especially with the 90 hit point Hydras, which we're dealing with now, that's just really good. Hydralisk Den is on the way with an Infestation Pit and a Spire. These guys are in gold? Seriously? This is some pretty good stuff for gold so far. I mean, the macro's amazing from Analis. He's got 66 workers already. Got that lair up, teching up pretty well, like checking as fast as he can, going for a 4th base at a nice timing as well, just south along the right side. And Gasdark is just kind of 2-base Void Raying it. So if I had to put some money on the game at this point, I'd probably put it on Analis and say he probably got this thing. He's going to have like maxed out Hydras by the time these Void Rays show up, and it's just there won't be enough Void Rays really to make a difference. Pathogen Glands on for Analis. And again, for those of you watching MidRank Madness, you want to get Pathogen Glands, and when they're about halfway researched, you can start making your Infestors, because then the Infestors will be born with the Pathogen Glands upgrade complete, which allows them to be born with 25 more energy? Yeah, 25 more energy than they otherwise would be. So that's super useful. Allows you to cast a fungal growth immediately rather than have to wait for it. Hive coming up for Analis as well. +1 air weapons and just kind of Void Raying it is Gasdark. I cannot tell you this is a good strategy. It just really isn't. 5th base on the way for Analis. Man alive, 4th base just now popping 5th base. Already on the way. Creep spread looks amazing. Is this dude smurfing? What is going on? This might be the most impressive Zerg I've ever seen at the gold level, but you know, these lower levels are getting better and better over time. It used to be silver and bronze was just a dumpster fire. Gold wasn't much better, but these days the people that are playing StarCraft have been playing for a while, and so you just don't have many games of those people who just don't have any idea what they're doing, as you've seen from my Into the Void series. Those players know builds. It's just they struggle when they get up against the enemy. They struggle when they're forced to attack and macro back home at the same time. It's just, that's what it is. Neural Parasite coming in from Analis as well. All right. All right. This is getting interesting. Warp Prism sneaking along this right side. Gasdark coming. Going to do some Warp Prism harass at this 4th base of Analis. He's got 2 queens here, and that's it. That's it at this point in time. And the Void Ray is coming along as well. The Overseer scouts him, though. Gets murdered. But scouted them, and that's what we need. We got 7 Infestors on the way. Ooh, 5 Vipers. I don't know. The Void Rays are coming out. I almost feel like we'd be better with Hydras. Accidentally scouts the 5th base of Analis. Does Gasdark and takes it down immediately with Prismatic Alignment and all of his 8 Void Rays here. So this base is gone. Thank you for playing. Did he not bring an Observer with him? He doesn't have an Observer with him. Crikey, that's not a great idea. 4th base, here come the Void Rays. They don't have Prismatic Alignment. It's on cooldown, but these 2 queens not going to do anything against it. Infestor manages to escape. That's a good thing, and throws down a fungal growth just to do some damage to the Void Rays. It doesn't do a lot. It doesn't do as much as it used to. What is it, 30 damage over 3 seconds? It used to be more over a longer period of time, but it was really good against Terrans. They had to nerf it. So 4th base is gone. Suddenly we're back down to 3. Back down to 3 for Analis. These Vipers sucking off energy using Consume. Probably going to use Parasitic Bomb on this Void Ray group. We'll see exactly how good Gasdark is at separating out the one that is hit. Warp Prism trying to come into the 3rd base here and getting hit by a Spore Caller directly and retreating at that situation. There's Parasitic Bomb on the Void. Does he bring in the Void Ray back into the group? He was, but it wore off. Thank goodness. Man, I don't think he knows about splitting here. That's really bad. So the thing with Parasitic Bomb is it actually makes one of your Void Rays basically radioactive. It hurts everything else around it. You got to split that one off there. So here we go. Abduct, abduct, abduct. The Corruptor's hitting here as well. Giant masses of fungal growth being tossed down all over the place. Infested Terrans down here as well. And the Void Rays, nope, they've met their match. Wow. So Abduct, Fungal, Infested Terran, Corruptor play. Analis, are you smurfing? This has got to be the best Zerg player I've ever seen at this level. I know I've said that before, but good golly. I mean, he's not pro. Obviously, this isn't like Snoot or somebody smurfing because he would have probably kept these 4th and 5th bases. But nevertheless, Viper Infestor Corruptor play is not something we usually see in mid-rank madness. It is now 97 to 52 total supply. Gasdark has 2 Void Rays and 40 probes, and that's it. But he's down compared to 64 of the drones for his opponent. So, not looking good. I love the Overlord spread that Analis has all across the map here. Across the bottom, across the left side, across the top. I mean, Warp Prisms aren't going anywhere. Void Rays aren't going anywhere without being scouted here. Another Warp Prism on the way, and a Fleet Beacon coming up for Gasdark as well. So, I don't know. Like I said, I like the fact that these bases got knocked down. That bought Gasdark a lot of time. I just don't know if it's enough for him to actually win this game at this point. 11 minutes and 24 seconds into it. Resources lost. Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know, pretty even. What is that? 5,700 lost for the Protoss. And about 53 lost for the Zerg. It's just not much of a difference whatsoever. Vipers flying in, doing what? I don't know what they were doing. Vipers, do they have any abilities that would make sense for going into the main base? No, not really. Not really. You can't consume other bases. Can you only consume you can only consume friendly bases, right? Does it say target structure? Can you? Okay, cannot target allied or enemy structures. All right, yeah, so it has to be your structure that you're consuming. I was gonna say, because that would be interesting in ZVZ, like just a mass of Vipers going around consuming other players' hatcheries, kind of like a caustic spray thing that the Corruptors can do. But never actually seen that, so yeah, it makes sense. It is limited to only your structures. Bam, Overlord dies. Void Rays are hunting. Out a hunt, and we got Graviton Catapult on the way, as well as the Carriers. The Carriers are coming up 12 minutes and 25 seconds into this thing. Stalker's taking down yet another Overlord. Lings say, hey, what up, group of Stalkers? How you doing? We have no upgrades, but you don't either, so it doesn't really matter. That's a lot of Lings. That's about 24 Zerglings. The Stalkers running for their lives. They don't even have Blink either because Skytoss has been so heavily focused on right now. And yeah, all these Stalkers are toast. Lings are just good against Stalkers. They're an amazing answer here. So 4th and 5th base are replaced by an Analis. The 5th base has six Spore Crawlers here, and he's consuming off that. Okay, he's not consuming off the hatchery. He's consuming off of the Spore Crawlers, which is interesting. I mean, you'd want them to have a lot of health, but whatever. Lings might force a cancel on this 3rd base that Gasdark is working on, but no. Void Rays going to town on those trying to kill probes as well. Lings going to get inside the main base. They're trying to kill Stalkers instead, keeping that Stalker count low. Is a nice priority right now. Stalker count is currently 2, so that works. It's good. It's good for Analis. Might have gotten that 3rd base if he wasn't fighting against the Stalkers so much, but here comes our Zerg army. It's very caster heavy right now. Burrow Infestor and a ton of Viper and a handful of Corruptors, which are casters. I mean, they are. And here come the Vipers. What are they doing? They're abducting. Okay. So they're abducting a probe. They're going to neural parasite the probe. I can't imagine why they're wasting all this energy on a single probe. Okay, they've neural parasited the probe, and oh, they tried to make a nexus. Didn't work out though. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And bloop. Just make it over here. You can. Okay, fine, whatever. So the probe has made a nexus and is gonna be sent back home now. I don't know what we do with him at this point. Is the problem with this dude? Thanks for letting us mind control you. Bye, say the infestors. There is again the Warp Prism here. Corruptor's gonna take that out pretty darn quickly. Does it have a Corvitic 4.13 move speed? Very fast, but not fast enough if it's not actually actively running here. So all right, Nexus coming up from Analis. Have we ever seen this on the channel? Have we ever seen a successful assimilation of an enemy worker that was able to create something that the assimilating player was able to use? I don't know. I don't know if we have, but Analis is playing around, man. He is playing around right now. All right, what do we got? Gateways, 4 carriers on the way from Gasdark. I just can't keep my eyes off this Nexus. This is going to be crazy. I mean, at this point, you just make a bunch of probes, right? Because even if you lose the Nexus, you still have probes to build more if you need to. Just make like 10 different probes, send them all over the map. And you'll be pleased. Actually, Analis is sacrificing drones? Was that just a bad rally? Or I don't know why he did that. I mean, that... He has 112 of 200 supply right now, so maybe he was at like 130. Possibly, but here we go. Making probes, just running them all over the place. Gonna throw up pylons, throw up tech structures, and let's see, does it... It's 200 total, right? You don't get a whole new 200 with your Protoss buddy, do you? I don't think... That's how it worked in Brood War. If you mind-controlled something and started a whole nother race, then yeah, you were basically completely allowed to have 200 more supply for that other race's units part of your army. And it was really overpowered is what it was. So I think in StarCraft 2 you have to share the supply among all the races. Maybe which is why Analis did destroy those drones just to free up something here. So here we go. Gateway on the way for the Zerg player. Something weird to say, but you see something new every single day in this game. We got Templar Archives on the way. We got 2 more carriers on the way. Gasdark is trying to max out. And I mean, this is gold level Gasdark here. It really is. I mean, he's sitting here at 39 Harvesters at 16 minutes into the game. He's not even close to maxed out. He's making carriers off of how many Stargates? 2? 2 Stargates? I mean, if you're going to go mass carrier, make a couple more Stargates. That's my recommendation. Tossing down Nexuses everywhere is this probe. Analis has 9,000 and 7,000 resources in the bank. He can afford to do this. I mean, might as well. So waiting for that gateway to finish and then go for a cyber core. And what do you want to complement your army with is the question here. I mean, it's Corruptor, Viper, Infestor with 10 Zerglings on the ground. It's just not a lot of stuff here that Analis has. He's throwing down Nexuses all over the place. He is he's just kind of playing around now. This is so weird. This is so weird. He's making a cyber core. Yeah, making a cyber core and a forge. I mean, throwing down 1 million cannons would be kind of interesting. Ling's checking to make sure there's not a base they're unaware of for Gasdark, and there's just not. I mean, Zerg has map presence and map control every single which way. There's no reason not to at this point in time. Yeah, Nexus. Why does he have so many Nexuses? He's got more Nexuses than his opponent does right now. Which doesn't make any sense at all. So he's taking the gold base on Gasdark's side of the map. Gasdark is content with not having any idea what's going on. Any idea what's going on out there. We are going 1 million Stargates. Oh, okay. Is he going to carrier his way up? He might just carrier his way up. Okay, now my question is, can drones mine and return to a Nexus if it's part of the same group? I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't. Just thinking about it for 3 or 4 seconds there. 10 gateways, or 10 Stargates in production for Analis, and here they go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Wow. Alright, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. He's working on shield upgrades. He's working on a fleet beacon now. He's got 2 cyber cores. He could be going for air armor, but he's only going for air weapons right now, perhaps distracted by what else is going on at this moment in time. Alright, so they're here. Oh, so we can chrono boost them with all the Nexuses that he has. Alright. Alright, I like this. And Void Rays. Void Rays in for Analis. 10 Void Rays at once for the Zerg player. Once again, makes no sense whatsoever. Corruptor's flying in here for Analis, being like, what? What is going on exactly? Why caustic spray on a Nexus maybe? I mean, whoa! They're sacrificing themselves again to free up more supply. I'd rather have more Void Rays than Corruptors, I think, at this point. He is working on, yep, that +1 air armor is on the way here as well. Is anything actually mining for the Nexuses that are at bases? No. Nah, they're just there. They're just there just in case. But as our Zerg player starts to get mined out of his other bases, he might have to start sending drones to those Nexuses, and then we'll see what happens. Oh, Gasdark is scouting, and he says, "What? Wait, what? How? There are... Where did these Stargates come from?" And he does. He laughs out loud at this one. I mean, this is clearly just a one-sided trouncing. If Analis is smurfing, I would not be shocked, but this is going to be fun. It's going to go from a ZVP directly into a PvP on some level here. So Gasdark probably should get out there now and start murdering things. Oh, but there are already 9 Void Rays out for Analis, or a Zerg player. And here he goes. It's time to move out. No, that one. Time to move out. There are Stalkers and Void Rays and Carriers here. Upgrades are pretty good. +3 attack done on these Carriers, coming right on in to the Stargate Central for Analis. And isn't even really bothering to try and do this thing. Fungal's being thrown down on the Carriers, and Void Rays going 1, 2. I mean, just trying to pick off these Carriers one by one. Going for the body. It's a lot of Stalkers, though. Parasitic Bomb being thrown down all over the place on these Void Rays. Carriers coming out for Analis, getting destroyed. And actually, Gasdark kind of winning this thing right now a little bit. The Fungals plus the Fungal. Goodness, the Fungal plus the Parasitic Bomb here doing extensively well for Analis right now. But still, the army for Gasdark is still alive. He's killing all of these Stargates. Oh, Analis, he was so happy for a moment there, trying to storm. He actually has a High Templar alive, part of his army right now. I don't know how. Is Fungal actually going to... A Fungal growth kills a Carrier. Don't see that very often. He has no detection at all. These... Gee willikers. Here we go. Observers in, and all the Infestors are getting murdered out of the sky here. Viper's dead as well. Finally, Observers for detection. I mean, those Infestors were just toying with the Protoss army for a little bit. The Templar just kind of hanging out, kind of attack moving into different things, but saving up energy. I mean, there's nothing to storm right now, so... Don't worry about it. Lings come rolling in, but not fantastic. And here we go. 1 million Zerglings, but detection is available. And we're trying to allow... There we go. Trying to allow the Interceptors to kill the Zerglings. The Stalkers don't want to do it. Ooh, Infestors get immediately shot there. More Lings coming in here as well for Analis, but I don't know if Lings are what you want to do. So many dead Zerglings in this game. 122 so far. Some Corruptors come in. They're severely outnumbered by Void Rays and 3 Carriers. How many kills on these dudes? 30 kills on that Carrier. 17 and 20 on the other 2 Carriers. 1 dead. Oh, Corruptor Ball. Giant enormous now. Yikes. 16 Corruptors in the sky. +1 Flyer attack. And all that's left is a group of Stalkers and a couple Templar here for Gasdark. And this might be all she wrote for our Protoss player. He's just in a ton of trouble right now. Stalkers holding their own. They're not +1/+1. Whereas the Zerglings are sitting at +0/0. But again, even that situation, it's just Lings are super duper mega awesome good against Stalkers, and they're all dead. All right, so I mean, fun little incursion there by Gasdark, but does he know? He doesn't know about anything on the top left side of the map, which is a problem because there are a ton of nexuses up there. He is mining. Yes, drones. Here we go. Drones are mining from a nexus. Yes. Yes, this is wonderful. This is a fantastic, fantastic mid-rank madness game. All right, how do you finish it off here, Analis? I mean, starting to get mined out is Gasdark of his 1 mining base in the 3rd base location. His natural's mined out. His main is mined out. He has a ton of idle probes. He's trying to make more Carriers, but I just think it's not going particularly well for him. He has 2. He has 2 Carriers, 7 Stalkers, and 1 Warp Prism with a Zealot on the ground as well. So I think it might just be time for Analis to kind of put him out of his misery at this point. Or is he still trying to build Protoss-y things? Is he? He's making another fleet. He's making another fleet beacon. That's what he's doing. Zealots rolling into the 5th base of Analis. There are a bunch of Zerglings, but +1 Zealot's pretty good against +0 Zerglings. And I mean, the Zealots are going to hold their own here. Corruptor's taking out the Warp Prism, though, so no ride home for these Zealots, that's for sure. Can the Zealots are doing a great job not getting surrounded. They're playing 300 right now, and actually, the Lings are forced to retreat. And then coming back in. There we go, getting more of a surround are the Lings, doing better than they were, but still not doing particularly well. Actually, Analis has a Carrier here to assist against the Zealots of Gasdark. And finally, they get cleaned out, but... Red Carrier, bad news bears. Gasdark does take a 4th base in the top left. Does he have new life, ladies and gentlemen? Does he have new life? He's got 2 Carriers and a handful of Stalkers to defend against this. Does our friend know about this thing? He does. Analis knows about this because he has an Overlord placed perfectly to scout it. Now, whether or not Gasdark is going to be able to keep this is basically up to Analis right now. He has a bunch of Corruptors. He's got a Carrier. with 1 kill to his name, bunch of Vipers, bunch of Infestors. He's replacing these Infestors pretty quickly. He's lost 11 of them so far, but he's back up to 7, which is amazing. It's 87 and 149 total supply. Resources lost tab says about 18,000 lost for the Protoss and about 32,000 lost for the Zerg. So cost efficient. It's just Analis has a million bases. He can kind of afford to do this. Lings rolling in. Still no upgrades for the Lings, which I find interesting. And they're going after this Nexus, but they're getting absolutely slaughtered by the carriers. I mean, they did barely any damage to that Nexus whatsoever. Did they not know the army was there? It might have not have known that the army was there. Straight up. Straight up mining from this Nexus are these drones. Hey, how's it going? We're just putting money in your Nexus. We'll be able to spend that later, right? And the answer is yes. 10 more Stargates on the way for Analis. How many did he have? Okay, he has 1. He's got 1. Thought he had more than that. But no. He is still working on those suckers, that's for sure. So much Chrono Boost available on these Nexuses as well. Broodlords out for Analis. I don't know if you really want that against a heavy... Well, it's not really a heavy Sky Toss composition. There are 3 carriers. Any Void Rays in Blue's army right now? Nah. 17 Stalkers. And 6 Adepts. Stalkers with the +1/+1 with the shield upgrade, but even that, they don't have... They do have Blink. I'm a liar. He got Blink sometime along the way. Alright, so Blink Stalkers against Broodlords is not terrible. It's just the problem that they have to worry about Fungal because there are so many Infestors on the ground with straight up full energy, all of them. What are we paying attention to here in Analis? We're transferring drones down to other bases. Gold base happily mining, 5th base happily mining, 4th base basically mined out. APM 111 for Analis and 76 for Gasdark, but currently 109 for Gasdark, so he can play. He can play fast is the thing here. Carriers here for Analis. How? I don't know. It's 147 and 121 total supply. Carriers just take forever to build is kind of the problem here. Do we need to speed this up just a little bit? Just a tiny bit. Let's do it. We're going to speed it up here. Go to ×2 for just a bit here because Analis has really no interest in moving in right now. He's just making carriers until he's maxed out, I think. He's making them 3 at a time, whereas Gasdark is making them 1 at a time. Creep spread is kind of stopped as well. I mean, you don't want to spread creep too much because then you can't build your Protoss units on top of it, right? Right. Upgrades are looking good as well. Where are my carriers? What are their upgrades looking like? +2/+1/1. A hajillion Spore Crawlers being thrown down by this gold base that is ostensibly Gasdark's, but it's not really Gasdark's. It's Analis's now. He's been mining the whole time. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Stalker carrier group saying, oh, why is there a Nexus up here? Destroy the Nexus. Dead. All right, good. So far, so good. Moving on. Attacking in an area. I don't think Analis intended for Gasdark to attack. Which, again, it's hard to predict these kind of things. People are, they're moderately, hugely unpredictable. And this is where he's going to expand. So Gasdark isn't really trying to kill Analis right now. He's just trying to stay alive economically. Oh, boy. Carrier here attacking this gold base that Analis has taken like 10 minutes ago. Wipes pretty much everything out. Almost everything out. The Vipers, playing the abduction game to get the carrier back to a place where they can kill it. And it almost kind of works, actually. Did he kill his own extractor there? I feel like I accidentally killed his own extractor there. Hard to tell. Hard to tell with the number of carriers that are on the air, on the ground, on the air right now. All right, Analis says enough is enough. I'm basically maxed out. I'm making 3 more carriers. My composition is carrier, broodlord, corruptor, and festerling with viper support. So, yep, that's going to be a pretty good composition. I don't care who you are. That's actually fairly amazing. So here we go, Lings. Trying to find something to destroy. Again, upgrades are bad for the Lings still. They don't have +1/+1 at all. Mothership is on the way for Gasdark. Lings rolling into town at these cannons. Taking a lot of the cannons out of this 4th base that Gasdark has. The carriers attacking the front door of the 3rd base for Gasdark, though. It's looking bad. It's looking really bad for the blue Protoss player, as it has, I think, for a while now. But so no major surprise. But here comes Gasdark to defend I have a list. So I have a list. Blinding Cloud being thrown down on these Stalkers. Kind of worried about the Stalkers versus these Broodlords and these Carriers, but the Broodlord Carrier combination with the Blinding Cloud is proving to be incredibly effective right now. But the Stalkers are blinking under. Just they're here to be anti-air is what they're doing. The Broodlings, if they had upgrades, would be a little bit better. For Analis, he's actually losing his army to some extent right now. What is going on? How is Blue winning this thing? Stalkers with Stalkers. No. You have to kill the Broodlords. Don't just kill Broodlings. There we go. Blinking out. Can you blink out of fungal growth? I feel like apparently that's just what happened with Gasdark. Focusing down the Broodlords. Broodlords are all toast right now. Lings rolling on in 2s and 3s and 100s. Actually, a lot of Zerglings. Blinding Cloud down on the Stalkers here as well. It just reduces their attack range to 1, though. They can still hit Lings that are attacking them directly. Okay, and that might be it. 139 to 38 total supply. Analis is rolling into the 3rd base of Gasdark. He has a carrier harassing the 5th base of Gasdark. 4th base is generally left alone. There's a mothership there, but I'm not sure how much it matters in the grand scheme of things in this game. Analis is going to finish off his opponent pretty much with Zergling right now. Again, he does have 3 carriers. He does have 3 carriers, and he still how does he still have Broodlords? He must have made more. He must have made more. So here he is rolling into the main base. We got this carrier just kind of slow and trying to kill an Nexus by itself. It's actually kind of slow going. And all of the realities here. Gateways dead. Cybernetics cores dead. Trying to save his 5th base's Gasdark. He comes in with some Stalkers and a mothership. And by golly, he saves it. He saves the Nexus with 181 hit points. His main base is in complete shambles, though. As it turns out, robotics facility is gone. Is this going to supply block Gasdark is the question. How many pylons are here? Actually, not as many. Not as many as I would have thought. Or Gasdark still has 125 supply after losing his 3rd and his main base. Where the heck are all of his pylons? There are 5 at his 4th. There are a couple at his natural. I don't know. Nexuses are supplying as well. Yes, the answer is yes. You gotta kill this thing from Gasdark. Okay, Broodlings expire. Alright, natural base under direct assault now by Analis. Gasdark is trying to replant his stuff, making a new cybernetics core, making another forge. Analis' army isn't huge. He's kind of mineral starved is the problem. He actually does have 2 bases, which he can mine from, but he's just getting gas from them. He should probably try to switch it up a little bit here. Some of his 37 workers can go to minerals, right? I feel like they can. All right, speed up time again. 33 minutes in this game. Are you kidding? Already got joking with me. All right, Lings found it. Lings know where they're going. Their bloodhounds scented the trail. And here we go up the ramp. Gonna finish off this 5th base of Gasdark. Come on, Lings, I believe in you. I believe in you, Zerglings. Let's move. No, huh? All right, the answer is no. The answer is no. He's bringing some Overseers over because he knows that Mothership is going to be a problem. And there we go. Bringing in detection support. And Nexus falls pretty quickly as, again, it had only about 150 hit points remaining. So, boop, boop, boop. Pylon dead. 56 out of 71 supply. Somehow Gasdark on this 1 base is not supply block. I guess there's 1 pylon in his main that's assisting with this as well. And here we go. Analis, Lings, Infestors, Vipers, Carriers, and Broodlords. Gonna make a go of it. Come on, guys. Don't make me a liar. Don't make me a liar. You're not making anything else, Analis. Come on. Come on. Okay, I guess he wants more Broodlords in this composition. Okie doke. For all 5 of the Stalkers that are on the ground. I suppose that makes a lot of sense. Does he have Photon Overcharge available? This can Photon Overcharge, right? Yeah. I never thought about it. Motherships can Photon Overcharge. How crazy. So the Broodlords have started their assault. They're tossing down Broodlings, pretty much dying for the most part, but just kind of keeping the Protoss player on their back foot a little bit. And here we go. Broodlings chewing down everything here, getting us around on the Stalkers at the same time, trying to build additional gateways, but it's just... And Analis is like, why sacrifice any of my other units if I can win this thing with straight up Broodlord? That's a great question. I don't know. Mothership is destroying Broodlings, has 10 kills already, 11 kills already. What can the Broodlings see here? Is that Overseer providing sight? Dang, that Overseer is providing sight, actually. That's pretty darn good. Storms don't stack. So don't storm them too fast next to each other here. Time Warp being thrown down. Lings being sent in as the second wave. Broodlords doing everything they can, and that's it. Ridiculous game. Good game out of Gasdark. But ridiculous, he says, and that's it. Analis is victorious. I want to say Analis is smurfing. He's good. He's good with spellcasters, which just is not something you see that often at gold level play. But regardless, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I mean, seriously, final composition is Carrier, Broodlord, Viper, Infestor. So stupid. So stupid. Resources lost here. 45,000 lost for the Protoss and 46,000 lost for the Zerg. So evened it up there. In the end, did Analis. I mean, that resources lost thing for Analis is so big, I can't see the end of it, is the problem. And it's just this weird mix of Protoss stuff and Zerg stuff. Yep, that's what we're looking at here. Let's see if we can see how many carriers he lost. It won't show us. That's funny. Gasdark as well. Do we see his carriers lost? We do. 13 carriers lost there. 335 Lings died, 4 Broodlords, 22 Corruptors, 11 Infestors, 10 High Templar, a Mothership, and a Mothership Core, along with 17 Void Rays. So, that was a good one. That was one to tell the grandkids about for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off at this point. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.